Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to go over some of these problems that we've been having on the last couple of worksheets. And I just want to run through them real quick. I know that we have a Zoom meeting coming up, but I wanted to go over some of this stuff in case you couldn't make it. All right, so when we balance chemical equations, remember that there's our four rules. Metals first, then nonmetals, then polyatomic ions found on both sides, and then last we save H and O. So if I'm looking at the first problem here, I have aluminum, which is a metal, and aluminum, which is another metal. One is in the reactants, one is in the products, so those are technically already balanced. Next, I want to look at iron. That's my other metal. And in my reactant side right there, I have 3, and in my product side right there, I only have 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 3 there. And now I have 3 Fe's in my reactants and 3 in my products. The last thing that I want to look at is my nitrogen. Okay, and on this side right here I have 2, and on this side I have 1. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of that. Now what that did, and some people are struggling with this, is that changed how many aluminums I have in my products. In my products I now have 2 aluminums, so that means I have to go back over to my reactants and add a 2 there. Now if I take a look and I do the inventory, my aluminums are going to be 2. My Fe's are going to be 3. And my nitrogens are going to be 2. So that one is balanced. Let's go to the next one. And I have potassium and magnesium nitride yielding potassium nitride and magnesium. Start with my potassium. There I have 1, there I have 3, so I'm going to put a 3 there. Going to go to my magnesium next, and here I have 3, here I have 1, so I'm going to put a 3 there. And the last thing I want to look at is my nitrogen. Here I have 2 nitrogens, and there I have 1 nitrogen, so I have to put a 2 here. Now, just like last time, that changes the number of K's that I have. My K's go from 3 in my products to 6. So that means I have to go to the other side and put a 6 there. Now if I take a look, I have 6 K's on both sides, I have 3 magnesiums on both sides, and I have 2 nitrogens on both sides. For this one, again, start with my metal, magnesium, it's 1 and 1, so that's good. Then I'm going to go with my iron, and it's 1 and 1, so that's good. And then I'm going to go to my hydroxides, my OHs, and I'm going to balance them as a unit. Here I have 2, and here I have 3. Now, when we have an even number and an odd number, we want to have the lowest common multiple. Well, the lowest common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. So for me to get 6 hydroxides, I would have to put a 3 there in front of the MgOH2 and a 2 here in front of the FeOH3. Now that's going to give me 6 hydroxides on both sides, but it's also going to change my Fe's and my Mg's. So I have to go back and account for that. 2 Fe's, 3 Mg's. Now my equation is balanced. For the last one, again, very similar. Start with my Mg, 1 Mg, 3 Mg, going to put a 3 in front of here. Then I'm going to go to Ag. I have 3 in my reactants, I have 1 in my products, so I'm going to put a 3 here. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to look at PO4 because it's found on both sides. Now this is not in parentheses and there's no little number behind it, so I have 1 PO4. This one is in parentheses and it has that little 2 behind it, so that means that I have 2 of them. So I have to put a 2 in front of the Ag3PO4. Now again, just like last time, that completely changed my silvers, my Ags. So now on this side, I have 6 silvers, So that means I have to go over here and change that to a 6. And now I'm balanced. I have 3 magnesiums, I have 6 silvers, and I have 2 phosphates on both sides. Let's go to the other worksheet, the one that was actually due for today, and let's take a look at that. That was this one. And we're going to do the exact same thing. Okay? Look at number 1. Start with my calciums. It's my metal. 1 calcium, 3 calciums. I'm going to put a 3 there. Then, I don't have any other metals, but I do have polyatomic ions that are found on both sides. CO3, CO3, and PO4, and PO4. In this case, there's 1 CO3 found on both sides. How do I know this? Because it's not in parentheses with a number behind it. Okay? But if I look at PO4, here there's 1 PO4, and here there's 2 PO4s because of that little guy. So I have to put a 2 there. Now the last thing that I want to balance then is I want to balance my hydrogens. And according to this, there's 6 hydrogens, and according to this, there's only 2, so I have to put a 3 in front of that. Now again, just like on the other worksheet, what that did is that not only changed my hydrogens, but it also changed my CO3s. And it went from 3 CO3s on one side to 3 CO3s on the other. So that is now balanced. Okay? Let's look at the next one. 1 Na, 1 Na, 2 Cls, 1 Cl. I'm going to put a 2 here in front of NaCl, and that is also going to change my Nas to 2. For number 3, start with my Als. I have 1 Al in my reactants. I have 2 in my products. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of that, AlNO33. Next, I want to go to zinc. I have 1 zinc in my reactants. I have 1 zinc in my products, so that's good. Next, let's take a look at NO3. In my reactants, I have 3 NO3s times 2, which gives me a total of 6. And over here, I have 2 NO3s, so I'm going to put a 3 in front of ZnNO3, 2, and that's going to give me 6 NO3s. Now, you already realized that changed my Zn. That made my Zn 3. So I'm going to put a 3 over here. And now, magically, if I look at my SO4s, here I have 3, and here I have 3. So this is now balanced. By balancing your metals first, then your polyatomic ions, it's balanced itself out. The next reaction is a combustion reaction. This reaction is a little trickier to balance because you have oxygens in different compounds, and you have to make sure you add them together. So let's start with carbon. I have 6 carbons in C6H12O6, and I have 1 carbon in CO2, so I'm going to put a 6 there. Next, let's go to my hydrogens. I have 12 hydrogens in my reactants, and I have 2 hydrogens in my product. So I'm going to put a 6 there to give me 12. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to add up how many oxygens I have in this compound. 6 times 2 is 12. But I have to add that to my 6 oxygens in water, which gives us a total of 18 oxygens in the products. If I come over here, I have 6 plus 2x, okay, because of that little 2. So 6 plus 2x would have to equal 18. So subtract the 6, I get 12. 2x equals 12. Well, in order for me to get x alone, I have to take 12 divided by 2, and that's going to give me 602. Now if I take a look at this and I add up all my oxygens and I add up all my hydrogens, I have 6 C's. For H's, I have 12. And for oxygen on each side, I have 6 plus 12, which gives me 18. And on this side, I have 12 plus 6, which gives me 18. And it's now balanced. Just a little review for you guys. I hope that helps. I'm going to put this video on YouTube, and I'm going to share it with all of you. Thanks.